Take my light. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Welcome today. If you can hear me, please let me know. I think if you can hear me, let me know, so I'll be sure that I'm communicating. Welcome today. Welcome to our session today. We have just 1 hour as usual, and in this time is just to answer your questions for those of you that are applying, for those of you that are currently getting ready for the US grad school application for this season. If you're here, let me know in the chat that you're here with me, but I'm just going to keep going until more and more people join us today. Welcome to today's session. My name is Dr. Amaka, and I'm the founder and lead coach of ScholarUP Mentoring Academy. And I'm really excited to be holding this session for you, right? I told all of you, it's not easy for me to respond to everyone individually. So this is the opportunity that I have to talk to so many people at the same time, so I can answer your. Okay, Chisom, good afternoon to you. Thank you for being here. I think you are the first person here. Chisom, how are you doing? Did you get the link to the WhatsApp chat? You were the one who were asking me about the WhatsApp chat, right? If I'm correct, you were the one asking me about the WhatsApp chat last week. Were you able to get it? I put it on the comment section, and today I still pinned it to the comment. So did you get it? Did you get the what? Okay, cool, nice. Thank you for. Do you have any questions? You say you are in the group already. Okay, that's nice. All right, while we keep waiting for the rest, if you have any question, like I said, I have just 1 hour to be here. So let me know where you are joining from. Chisom, I can't remember where you are joining from, but do let me know so I know where you are joining from. So I'm going to be taking any questions you have. Are you planning to apply for US grad school? Are you already in the process of your application? Are you just starting? Tell me about it. And then any other person who has a question, let's make use of the time that we have. I'm going to be here for exactly 1 hour. It's just 7 a.m. in the morning for me. So this is just, like I said, a way for me to ensure that I support the people who are within my community, within the time frame that I have, which is not always very easy, with the time difference, my work, this and that. It's not very easy to answer so many different questions from so many different people all the time. So, but this gives you an opportunity. If you have a question, if you're about to start your application, if you've started your application, now is the time to specifically ask me the questions that you have, and I'll answer you to the best of my ability. Oh, okay, Chisom, you're in Umuahia. Oh, okay, thank you for letting me know. And thank God, it's Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, thank you for being here. All right, I see that we have a fuller house now. Please, let's get into it. I expect these sessions to be interactive. If it's not valuable to you, then I don't want to be here, right? If you cannot come to these sessions, come with your questions, pressing questions that you're hoping to move forward with. There's no need for me to waste my time to come here, and I have so many other things to do. So the reason why I'm hosting this session is because I want it to provide real value for you for specific questions that you have. So Chisom, you say you are interested, but you don't know how to go about it, right? The question now is, what are you interested in? Are you interested in applying for grad school in the US? Where are you currently with your career? Have you finished your bachelor's degree? Have you finished your master's degree? What I expect is that you have to at least have an idea of what it is that you want, right? There has to be like, this is what I want, this is what I'm trying to achieve, or this is what I'm trying to do. And once you have that idea of what you want, then it's easier to now begin to ask specific questions like, okay, I'm trying to get into grad school in the US. This is what I've tried. This is what I've not tried. It makes it more valuable for you that at least you kind of have an idea in your mind of what you're looking for. So if you have a question concerning US grad school, just go ahead and ask your questions so that we can get started with this session today. US grad school, as you all know, that there are specific things, right? Chisom, this is now for you. The first things that you need to line up. Let's say my goal, I'm trying to get into US grad school. I want to get into US grad school by the fall of 2026 or by 2027, depending on what you want to do. But you need to give yourself time to line up the things that you need. And what are those things that you need? The first one is your transcript. That's why I was asking, have you graduated? So you want to get your transcript. You want to make sure you have your transcript. If you have a bachelor's degree, you want to have your bachelor's transcript. You want to have your master's transcript if you have a master's degree. Those are like the critical things. Then you want to have your CV ready. And how do you have your CV ready? It's not just by writing your CV. It's by intentionally building your CV to make it competitive. You have to understand that if you're trying to get into the UX, for example, you're trying to get into Canada, you are competing with the whole world, right? So you need to begin to ask yourself, what are some of those things that I will have in my CV that is going to make it stand out from the rest of the people that I'm competing with? So that's the second thing. You need to have your CV. Then the next one is your statement of purpose. Your statement of purpose, that's like the most critical document that you need to submit. And it has to come from your personal story. Your statement of purpose has to come from your lived experiences. It has to be like, oh yes, this is what I've been through. This is the reason why I'm the best fit for this program. So your statement of purpose. Then the next thing again is to think about who are the people that can recommend me. You need recommenders. You need 3 recommenders. And usually having quality recommenders makes all the difference. Having people who can speak to not just your academic performance, but to your character. Because when it comes to grad school, they are not just looking at, oh, you have a first class, oh, you have this result. They also want to think about what are your experiences, how resilient are you as a person, and things like that. So these are the first group of things for you to begin to bring together as you prepare for the journey, right? So you need to kind of begin to assemble all of these things. And then you decide to yourself that, oh yeah, I'm trying to get into US grad school. Okay, which program do I want to get into? So that's the next thing now. Which program am I trying to get into? What is my interest? What did I get my bachelor's degree in? It makes a lot of sense to always do a progression. Like, it makes sense if your previous degree can show a connection to where you are going to next. It gives you better fighting chance. It gives you better chance if you can show that the course I'm trying to get into is directly related to the one that I've already done. If it is so separated and you don't have experiences to link it up, it makes it very difficult for you to convince the officers who are doing the selection, the process, to see how you are a good fit for that program. So Chisom, I hope this gives you some context in terms of this is the starting point. I need to really decide on where I want to be. I need to decide on the program I want to do. Okay. Thank God says, do you advise one with a master's degree to go for a PhD program or for another master's degree in the US? There's no need to do another master's. In fact, in the US, you can even come directly to a PhD without a master's degree. So if you have a master's degree, you already have an edge. What is the point of doing another master's? There's no point. And the thing that most people don't know is that it's actually easier to get fully funded scholarship for a PhD program than it is for a master's program. So it's easier for you to get somebody that will fund your PhD than for you to get somebody that will fund your master's. You may ask, why is that? Even though master's is like 18 months, 2 years. The reason for that is that when somebody is taking you in as a PhD student, they know that within the first year, maybe you'll still be learning, you're still taking your classes, you are getting adapted to the PhD process. But by the second year, third year, you will start contributing to the lab. At that point, you would have matured enough, you know what is happening in the lab, you'll be able to write papers, you'll be able to contribute to what is going on in the lab. That is the reason for it. But for a master's student, most of the time, as you are coming in, immediately you come into the program, within a short period of time, you'll be talking about graduating. So that's just the reason why it's always easier, especially for STEM programs, especially for PhDs that are like research-based. Most of the time, it's way, way easier to get someone that will fund you to do a PhD than to fund your master's. Oh, Tolu, I see you. Thank you for thank you for joining us today, talking about US grad school. It's good to see you. Okay, Emmanuel, I see your question. You said from your advice, we have to sell ourselves the best way possible for grad school in the CV. When asked for a resume, can I use the CV? Because I realized the 2-page resume isn't enough. Okay. Now, A resume and a CV is different. A CV is comprehensive, everything. It can be 10 pages long. It can be 8, depending on it. You can put everything in your CV. CV, even though you are putting everything, still you don't want to write your CV in a way that is difficult to read. Let me point that out. It's very important, especially for grad school. You want to write your CV, even though it's long, you want to write it in bullet points. You want to write it in a way that it will be very easy for somebody to just skim through it, skim through your experience and do it at a glance, because people are evaluating so many documents. That's one thing you need to know, that for whatever you are submitting, even your statement of purpose, you don't want to make it 3 pages long. It's not the length of the document, it's actually the quality of the writing. It's how you qualify the things that you've done. It's how you talk about the impact. I remember, Emmanuel, when I spoke to you, I was telling you, as you're writing on your CV, it shouldn't just be, I did this. There has to be, this is what it meant. This is the impact of what I did. Now, going back to your question, if somebody asks for your resume, you don't want to submit a CV of 6 pages, 8 pages. No, that's not. A resume typically is 2 pages long. That's like the standard. So now you need to have the skill to take the important things from your CV, the really, really important things, and highlight it on in your resume. At best, it shouldn't go beyond 3 pages because it's specifically asking you for a resume, especially if there is that specification. Otherwise, for most grad school, they require your CV. Most of the time, when I was applying, for most of them, they require your CV because they want to kind of see the depth of what you've done. But if they are specifically asking you for a resume, you want to write it in a way that is like an abridged version of what you already have in your CV. But making sure you are highlighting the main things. That's the important thing. You want to make sure that you are actually highlighting the most important things. And another key point is that as you're writing a resume, begin to think about tailoring your resume to that program. What do I mean by tailoring your resume? What it simply means is that every program has every program has their objectives, which you can find in the school website. Every program has the key objectives. Every program has the main things that they are looking out for. So you want to now go to your CV or you want to go to your experiences and look for those things that are aligned with what that program is looking for. Right? So some of the experiences you have may be totally unrelated. It may not even matter whether or not you have it. So you want to tailor your resume, even if it's for a job search, whether for job search, whether for grad school. Remember, it's just as though you are marketing yourself. You are trying to show fit. That's the most important thing that you are trying to prove. Whether with your statement of purpose, whether with your resume, what you are trying to show is fit. You're trying to show that I'm fit for this program. So you're trying to take the experiences that you have that is most tailored to that program and highlight it in your resume. So it's very easy to take a 10-page CV and make it into a 2 to 3 page resume and still capture the main insights for that program. If you have the skills of writing, if you know how to write, if you know how to present things, if you know how to summarize where needed, you know how to stick to the point that the reviewer is looking for. It's something that is very easy for you to do. So one thing I want you to be clear on is, it's not the length of the document. It's not the fact that something is very long that makes it valuable. It can be long, and if it is just full of fluff, if it's just full of information, it can even become annoying. That's the thing. It can become annoying because now you are stressing the person to keep reading through this document that is just long, but it doesn't have a lot of substance. So it's the quality of the writing, not just the length of the writing. That's one thing I want you to be clear on as you prepare your document. Everything you are preparing for grad school. I've reviewed a lot of statement of purpose for people. I think I was doing one yesterday. I was reviewing it, and what the guy gave me as draft was almost 4 pages long. You know, it's like he went on and on and on and repeating the same thing. By the time I finished rewriting the statement of purpose, it was now 2 pages long, even a little bit less than 2 pages. And then when I gave it to him, he was, wow. He was so impressed with how the documents became, still capturing the main points that he wanted to capture, but in a more succinct manner. That's one thing you need to know, that it's not the length of the document. It's not because I wrote 4 pages or 10 pages that is going to capture attention. The question is, how compelling is the things that I'm writing? So I hope that helps you. Precious, you say, must I have publication before I start applying for masters in the US? No. You must not have. People come into the US every day without having publication. You mustn't have. But if you do have, it's an added advantage to you. Let me put it this way. Okay, for those of you who are here, kindly share this event. Let people know that we are here. I think we have 45 minutes now. We are 15 minutes in. I guess, like I told you before, what is going to encourage me to keep holding these sessions is if I know for sure that this session is useful to you guys. Because I don't have a lot of time and I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste your time, right? I don't want to waste my time at all. It's just because I look at all the people I'm mentoring and it's difficult for me to respond to everybody one after the other. So I felt like, okay, I can dedicate this 1 hour time, early morning for me, to really come and help you through the process. This application season now. So if you begin to work on your application, at least you will work on it and you will come back the next Saturday with a question, right? So these are sessions that people would charge you for, but I feel like, okay, this is the least I can do. This is the least way I can support you. This is the way I can support you to make sure that at least it is less burdensome. You feel less alone in the process of your application. The US grad school application process is very tedious. If you've been through it before, then you know. And with the whole recent budget cut in the US now, if you are following the news, then you know it has even become more difficult. So the best way for, if you really want me to keep going with this session, at least repost the event, talk about the event, invite more people. That way it feels, like at least I'm going to be encouraged that like, okay, yes, I'm really making a difference. I'm really helping them. I'm not just using a time I should have used to do something else to come and sit down and try to talk to them. So that's what I would ask of you. Repost this event, invite your friends, let them know that something like this is going on. Let them know the time. Like I said, it's just going to be 1 hour. And we can use that 1 hour really, really well. We can use that 1 hour really, really well for you to really get the mentoring and the coaching that you need to help you, right? So Precious, back to your question. You said if you must have a publication, and I said no, you must not have. So many people have gotten into US grad school without publication. But does it help you to have publication? Yes. The reason why I say yes is because, especially if you are in STEM, oh, somebody said the video is restricted. How do I make it less restricted? Oh, okay. I don't even know what to do. Tolu, if you are still here, tell me what to do. I'm not very YouTube savvy. Let me see. Maybe that's the issue. Who can tell me how to unrestrict the video so that if more people want to come in, I think I need to make it public or something. I'm not even sure how to do that. I'm not sure how to do that. Yeah, somebody just sent me a message to say the video is, what am I doing? Restricted. Okay, no. Okay. Okay. Okay, oh, I don't see I don't really know how to unrestrict the video so that more people can have access. That's I'll probably try to figure it out for next week. But thank you for letting me know. I saw your message, but I don't know. I hope people can use the link. Maybe that way you can share the link and more people can come in. I really don't know. I'm still trying to understand YouTube, right? And that's why I decided to host these sessions on YouTube so that I can just get more used to the platform. So I don't really know the way to. Oh, you're not seeing that it's restricted in your end. Yeah, I'm thinking that it's maybe more people cannot see it because it's on private mode. So that's something that I'll probably work on when I'm setting up the next event. But it's good that I know. It's good that I know now. But let's go back to the question that I was trying to answer. So let me not mess with it. By next week, we are all learning on the job, right? We are all learning on the job, more or less. I'm not very YouTube savvy, but it's all good. It provides a streaming platform for us to talk, for us to chat in real time. So that's okay. I don't know what I'm clicking, but I would check for next week. So back to the question, yeah, Precious. If you don't have a publication, right, I'm going to advise you to be intentional about your experiences. And your experiences must not just be paid experiences, even volunteering experiences. A lot of people who want to come into US grad school don't know the power of volunteering. They don't know how much they value it here in the US. That people can see that, oh, for example, I want to do public health. I've been part of this outreach. I've been part of this. Those are the kind of things they are looking out for in your CV. Because it's showing experience, it's showing your passion. But most times people just bring their degree with them. Oh, I graduated with first class in this. Oh, I got a first class in this, and that is all, right? So having a publication or having publications is an advantage. It's a plus. It makes a difference for you. It helps you to stand out, especially if you're coming into a research-based program. What that is saying already is that it's telling your PI or your advisor that you have some experience in research, that you are not just a novice. So that's exactly what that is showing, that I can show that I have peer-reviewed, my paper has been peer-reviewed, I've done a publication, even if it's in a local journal. That's why I advise students, I said, for all of us, especially those of us in Nigeria, I can see your name and I know you are Nigerian. We all do projects for our bachelor's degree, all of us. For me, I published my project for my bachelor's degree. Was it the best project? No. But then at least it helped me to learn on that process. It helped me to have something on my CV when I decided to apply. So I always encourage people, it's better for you to prepare adequately so that you will make the rejections less, understanding that you are competing broadly. So there's no need coming with half-baked, you come with your information, there's nothing to show for it. There's really no substance in what you are bringing with you. That just increases the chances of you being rejected year after year. People will tell you, oh, I've been rejected. And then you look at what they're bringing with them. You realize that they were not ready to begin with. They were not really ready. So that makes it, it makes it easier for them to be rejected and things like that. So you must not have a publication. People get admitted without publication. But if you have a publication, it's a plus for you. It is something that is going to help you. It's going to help you to show that fit. It shows experience, right? So Colin says, good afternoon, Dr. Amaka. Happy weekend. I would love to ask if it is necessary for you to have research public. Oh, wow. It's the same question that Precious is asking that I'm also asking. Right. Okay. So I didn't even read your own question before. So it's the same answer. It's not a requirement. It's not like there's anywhere they wrote it somewhere to say, if you don't have a publication, you cannot apply. No, it's not a requirement. I've not seen any school where publication is a requirement. But does it help you? It does. Does it help your case? Yes. Does it make you more interesting when you begin to reach out to professors to make connection to the work that you've done? Absolutely. So that's the thing. US grad school is a game of numbers. It's a game of numbers. That's something that a lot of people don't know. There would always be more qualified people than the resources that are available. Always. Always, always, always. There would always be hundreds and hundreds of more qualified people than the resources that are available, especially if you are looking for fully funded scholarship, which I believe that is what all of you are seeking. It's very expensive. For my own education, my expenses for 1 year, like my tuition and everything, was close to $50,000. Do the math. If you are a Nigerian, for example, multiply that by 1,500 or 1,600, whatever the current rate is. So multiply 50,000 by that, and then you know how many millions of naira it is for 1 year. So it's very expensive. It's something that before you see people who can afford it out of pocket, then you really have to know who your father is. So because you're looking for that fully funded scholarship, it means that you also need to do the groundwork to present yourself as worthy. It's not charity. I say this all the time. US grad school is not charity. It's an investment. So it's just like you're trying to get investors for your business. You need to be able to show them that I'm going to get a return on this investment. So as I'm spending this money, as I'm putting you through, I'm going to get a return. You stand a chance to succeed. That's the important thing. You need to be able to prove that fit. So whatever you need to do to beef up your CV, I have people that I start mentoring. If they are going to apply in fall, which we are in fall now, sometimes we start the mentoring fall of the previous year or in January. I tell people it's a process. Don't wait until I want to apply tomorrow. Then I'm looking for somebody to tell me what to do today. Is your CV ready at that point? I tell them sometimes you need to go and volunteer some places, you need to go and get some extra certifications, go and do some courses, just to make your CV stand out. That is the job. That is why it's good to have a mentor who is seeing what you're doing. That helps you to reduce that rate of rejections. A lot of the people who are rejected is just little things, small things that you can get involved in that will be able to show that, oh yeah, I was a part of this. Oh, I acquired that skill. Oh, I did that training. Oh, I attended that conference. Oh, I published this paper. These are the things that helps your own CV to stand out. But people think that, oh, because I just graduated with first class or I have a 2-1, then that should be all I need. Divine, oh, it's good to see you here. How are you, my dear? I hope you're settling in well. Thank you for being here. It's good that you're here. Okay, Usman. So how do you advise me with bachelor's degree looking for direct PhD in the US and how to bypass application fee? Good. These are two important questions. These are two important questions. How do you go from bachelor's degree to your PhD directly? What am I doing? Just give me a moment. I'm pressing. Okay. How do you go from a bachelor's degree to your PhD? And then how do you bypass the application fee? Two important questions. So I'm going to tackle it one after the other. The first one, you're trying to go to a PhD directly for a bachelor's degree. What does that mean? That simply means that you are already on an uphill battle. What do I mean? Like, you're already struggling against people who have master's degree. Some people have 2 master's degree. Honestly, I've seen people that have 2 master. Some people who are coming in for a PhD in the US already have a PhD in Nigeria or have a PhD somewhere. So that's the first thing that you need to be clear on. Oh, my Bironke, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to see you coming to be here in our session. I know you're not trying to go to US grad school, but I'm happy that you are here, and just seeing you makes me feel very supported. Thank you. All right. So back to your question, Usman, right? It's possible. People do it. I had people even when I was in graduate school. I had people when I was doing PhD who came directly from a bachelor's degree, so they never did a master's degree. But that means that you now need to put some extra effort. You need to put some extra effort in preparing your package. You need to be able to show the officers that are reviewing it that you can cope. Because that is something that they look out for, especially for international students that they are bringing from afar. They don't want you to come and break down. That's the honest to God truth. They don't want you to come here and you are not able to cope. You feel very depressed. You don't move forward. So they are always very selective. They are bringing you from thousands of miles away. They are trying to see, can this person cope when they come into the school? So you that is coming with your bachelor's degree, have you published your bachelor's work, for example? Do you have some work experiences? Do you have some volunteering experiences? So you need to intentionally curate your package so that you can sell that story. Otherwise, it's a difficult story to sell. That's just the plain truth. So there are some professors that, in fact, the fact that you don't have a master's degree, already they are looking at you like, does this person have the experience I need? So for you to even have the attention, you need to go that extra mile to show that, yes, even though I don't have a master's degree, see, I did my bachelor's degree, I have published my work. Oh, see all the places that I've volunteered. See the places that I've led. See what I've served. You see, you are intentionally curating your CV. People don't put in that effort to go and look for experiences that will look very good on their CV. That's the thing. I tell people all the time. I made a post recently that was talking about volunteering. You know, right now we are planning our global conference at ScholarUP, right? And we have more than 100 people volunteering for that conference. And I was just trying to encourage them. And then I made a list and I said, for me as a person, this is all the places I've volunteered in up till this. In fact, it was not even an exhaustive list. I just ran out of space of typing. But I was trying to tell them something, that people just don't become who they are just like that. That's one thing that people don't know. You think that, you know, this person just became this person. Oh, wow, you are so smart. Oh, you are so confident. Oh, you know how to lead. No, people don't just become that. It's not a gift. That's one thing I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not like a gift that, oh, some people are born and they are very great with public speaking. Oh, they are very confident. It's not a gift. It's a skill. It's a skill that is built over time. So when you look at your life and you reach that point of dissatisfaction, you feel like, I'm no longer satisfied with this life. I want to move to the next level. And I know that gaining admission, coming to the US for grad school is going to open those doors for me to be able to do the things that I want to do. Then you also need to sit with yourself and be very honest with yourself. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Nobody is going to hand it to you. No one is going to hand it to you. That is just the truth. Nobody will hand it to you. You would need to work it out. You would need to put in the effort to make it work. You would need to make the investment that is needed, especially if you don't want to keep applying and going year to year. So yes, it's possible to go from bachelor's degree, but the question I will ask you is, Usman, is how have you prepared yourself? What is in your CV? What are your experiences? What are those things that you have put together for yourself that would help you to stand out from a crowded market? That's the important question that you need to answer. And once you answer that question, then it takes me to my next question. How do you bypass application fee? This is also very important. Application fees are not cheap. When I applied to my school, application fee was around $90-something, if I'm not mistaken, close to $100. So for some schools, it ranges from 60, maybe 70 to 100, thereabout, within that range. Depending on the school, it's usually within that range of time, right? The question now is, if you're trying to get a waiver, you need to be able to make your case early. There are different ways to go about it. The first one is to reach out to the school officers, right? Reach out to the school. Usually when you go to any school website, you'll be able to see contact information for the admission office. Generally, the beautiful thing about trying to come to school in the US or in Canada, in all of these advanced countries, is that it's not like Nigeria where it's hard to find information. It's not like Nigeria that for some schools, when you go to their website, you can't even find information of faculty, you can't find their email. It's not like that. It's not rocket science. If you type in a school, you want to do practical, type in a school. My school is Texas A&M. You would find professor's name down to their email, down to sometimes their phone number. You will find admission office. You will find all of this information. That is where the research goes in. That when you look at a school that you want to apply to, go to the site, find the email of the admission office. Send them an email, introduce yourself. Let them know that you are interested in applying for this school. Ask them what opportunities they have for application fee waiver. Sometimes application fee waiver is dependent on how early you apply. That's one thing. Another one is attending the school webinars. There are schools that conduct webinars around admission period. You want to be intentional about looking for those webinars because most of the time, the caveat is that the people who attend those webinars, they tend to have free, they waive their application offer. I've had mentees who got 3 to 4, 5 schools waiving the application offer. That increases your chances. Because it's not the more schools you apply to, the more chances of getting in. But the more schools you are applying to, the more money you are spending. It's not cheap. If it's $100 per school and you say 10 schools, that's already $1,000, right? For someone in Nigeria, for example, that's like 1.5, 1.6 million. It's not cheap. So how you can kind of jump that hurdle is by becoming intentional in doing the research, finding the information. Which schools can give me application fee waiver? Which schools, where can I get all of this waiver? And as you get those waivers, that's good. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is to do the work, make sure your application is the way it's supposed to be, and then you go ahead and you apply. So that's how you go about it. It's by reaching out. Let them know. For example, introduce yourself. Tell them I guess you're Nigerian, for example. Oh, I'm a student. I graduated with this and this. This is who I am. I'm from a low-income country. I'm not able to afford the application fee, but I'm very interested in applying for this school. Please, what are those opportunities? 9 out of 10, they will reply you. They will tell you if those opportunities are there, and they'll tell you how you go about assessing them. So as you go through this process, I want you to become very intentional in building your confidence. Be bold, ask questions. There's nothing anybody is going to do to you. That's the thing. There's nobody is going to, the worst case scenario is that you ask a question and somebody does not respond, which in that case, you've not lost anything. But be bold in your inquiry. You just need to be courteous. You just need to learn how to be polite, right? So that is, again, where mentoring comes in. Because I've had people sometimes when they send me their application, what they want to send, even as a cold email, I'll like, please don't even send that. Oh. Don't send it. Because you don't want to beg. That's the mistake. You don't want to beg. And that one is very common with us Africans. It's very common with us Nigerians. Oh, you keep saying please and sorry, please this, please sorry. Things like that is very uncultural for the typical American person. It's very uncultural for them, for you to always be begging, for you to always be apologizing. That is one thing I had to unlearn when I came to the US. So you would think it's humility. You think you are being humble, you are always apologizing, you are always begging, even when you've not done anything. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to ask somebody a question, you say, I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. Why are you sorry? You've not done anything wrong. So you need to learn how to write with professional language that does not turn the person off, right? So, but be intentional in your persistence, in following up, in asking questions. Don't just send one email and somebody did not respond and you say, oh, wow, that person didn't respond. People are very busy. Even me, I can't even keep up with my own email. So most of the time, I tell people, give people grace. Don't just say someone is ignoring you. People do that all the time. They send me a message on LinkedIn. They don't get a reply. And the next thing they say, oh, wow, this woman is so proud. Oh, I sent her a message since 2 weeks ago. She did not respond. And I just laugh. I said, do you even ask yourself that, is there a chance that I didn't even see this thing? Is there a possibility that I didn't see it? Would anything have happened to you if you had resent that message? Or if you have even gone a step ahead to go to my comment section to say, please, doctor, check your inbox. I've seen very smart people do that. Because sometimes it's hard to keep up with the DMs. I'm very honest with you. I cannot keep up with it because all of these things is not my full-time job. It's just passion. When you feel like, okay, how can I help my own people? How can I invest in them? What difference can I make? But at the end of the day, you are one person. You have a life to get back to. You have a career to get back to. You have other things that is competing for your time. So you can only do so much. So you who is seeking something have to be the one that is persistent. You need to take your pride, keep it aside. You follow up with the right language without becoming aggressive in your follow-up, but being very polite. So that's how you really go about it. My Bironke says, if you're passionate about research in any area, you should put in action through volunteering. Absolutely. That's the truth. I talk about it all the time. You cannot be telling me you are passionate about something and I cannot see any track record of that thing. It's hard to believe that story. It's very, very hard for you to sell me that story. Service before leadership, always, always and always and always. We cannot say this enough. Before you see somebody becoming a well-rounded leader, go and look at their track record. Go and see the places they've served. Go and see how they learned those skills, how they learned people management skills, public speaking skills, organizational skills. It is learned. All of these things is learned. You don't just become it. You don't just wake up. And that's why, a lot of times it's so noisy. You see people start things and they cannot sustain it because they didn't even really take the time to learn about the things that they're doing. So it's very important. I tell them, we have so many people now at ScholarUP who are volunteering towards our global conference that is coming in November. It's an opportunity for them. They are learning to lead small teams. They are learning to work together. They are learning collaboration. They are learning it in real time. By the time they've done it and they've done this work for like 3 months, they can come out of it and say, that conference, I was a part of it. I volunteered, this is what I did, this is what I learned. They can show those measurable outcomes that can go into their CV. That's the thing. I cannot count how many recommendation letters I have written for people for US grad school, for even other things, sometimes even for job opportunities. I cannot count how many I've written. But will I write you a recommendation if I don't know you? I'm not going to do it. And it's not wickedness. It's just that I cannot endorse my name and put my own character on the line for someone that I don't know. It's just the way it is. So as much as I want to support you, as much as I want to care about you, as much as I want to see you succeed, my willingness to want to do that cannot be more than your own. I say that to my mentees all the time. Now, one of my mentees, Amaka, all the time, he will repeat the same thing. He will say, yes, Dr. Maka says, my desire to mentor you cannot be more than your own desire to be mentored. And that's the honest to God truth. No matter how passionate I am, for example, you see me waking up 7 o'clock in the morning, coming to do this live event. If nobody shows up, do you think I'm going to keep going? Let me assume that I show up today and only one person is here, and I come next week again. I cannot be more passionate than the people I'm trying to help. So that's how it works. You need to be able to begin to build relationships with people that can speak to your character, people that can speak to your qualifications. It costs something to build relationship. And sometimes what it costs is not money. People don't understand that it's not money. Some of my mentees who are very close to me, that can literally call me in the midnight and I will answer them. You think they give me money? No. Instead, sometimes I'm the one that give them money, right? But just their loyalty, just the way they push the things that you do, the way they would repost what you're doing, that is the thing. So you are someone it's just like you trying to understand that life, even the people, anybody who wants to help you, no matter how much they want to help you, it's always that back and forth thing. It's always about value. What value are you bringing? And that value is not always money. It's not always money. Sometimes it's just commitment. It's in the small things. It's in the small things that you show, that you just use to encourage that person, to let them know that, oh, wow, I reposted your event. I put it on my WhatsApp. Oh, I put it on Facebook. I posted it on LinkedIn. The person is seeing and they're encouraged. They feel like, oh, okay, yes, what I'm doing makes a difference. What I'm doing is really helping these people. Okay, let me keep going. Even when it is inconvenient for me, I'm going to try to keep showing up. So it's all about understanding life from that view, that you have to give something to get something. So Chisom, you're asking, how can you publish your work? The question I'm going to ask you is, do you have a project supervisor? That's a good place to start. Do you have a project supervisor? It's always the best way to start, because at this point, if you've graduated, you already have the thesis. I believe you already, because in Nigeria, for example, there's hardly anybody that can graduate without having a thesis, like a project that you've written. I know that was it when I was back in Nigeria, and I don't think that has changed in just a couple of years. So that means you already have a written work that can be refined. So I'm going to advise you need to reach out to your project advisor. That's the first thing. And say, this work that we've done, now I'm really trying to work towards getting into graduate school, and I really want to see how we can publish it. That's the first step. Let your advisor know, because your advisor is going to be part of that publication, right? Because you did the work together. Then the second thing you need to do is to begin to look at research work in your area, which I believe if you've done a project, then you already kind of know how to look at peer-reviewed papers to see how they are structured, to see the tailoring, how is it structured from the abstract to the introduction to the materials and method to the discussion to the conclusion. That's how a peer-reviewed paper is written. So begin to review the ones that are around the topic you've worked on. Then take your thesis that you've already written and begin to rewrite it to follow peer-reviewed paper so that you can come up with a draft. Believe you me, if you don't do the work, your advisor is not going to move forward. That's the truth. If you don't do the heavy lifting, if you are just waiting, the students who publish their paper are the students who push to publish their paper. That's the thing. But a lot of times people say, oh, my advisor did not do for me. Oh, my advisor did not say. Oh, my advisor was not. No. People do that mistake, even in grad school. They come to grad school and they don't understand that they are the drivers. You don't understand that you are the one driving the vehicle. That the progress you make is dependent on your own effort. The progress you make is based on your own effort. It's not because people have so many things. You are not your advisor's number one priority. That's just the thing. They have so many other things. Some of them are chasing promotion. Some of them are chasing grants. They are chasing so many things. So they don't wake up from sleep and they are thinking about you. It is you that will make yourself top of mind. It is you that would identify the things that you need that will help you arrive at that your goal. That is why it is important to remain in learning spaces that challenge you. It is your job to invest in yourself. It is your job to make yourself that person that you are going to be proud of. Nobody will do it for you. No one is coming. That is the difference between the people who overcome mediocrity and the people who stay with excuses. I can tell you, I was born to parents who did not go to school. I'm very proud of my dad. I'm proud of my mom. I learned so many things from them, but not about school, right? I learned about business. I was helping my father in his shop. That was where my foundation for business started. But my father was not educated. My father only has primary school education. So I could use that as an excuse to say, oh, wow, I was born in a poor family. I did not have a lot of role models from the family in terms of education. Nobody was really pushing me to do all of those things. I could use that as an excuse. And for the longest time, I used it as an excuse. I went to very local schools. I tell people, well, if you are in Jos, you know about Plateau High School, you know about Tempest. Those schools don't even exist anymore. The schools I attended, both primary school, both high school, they've both closed down. So if you still have an alma mater, if you still have a school that you will go back to and say, oh, I graduated from Federal Government College, or I graduated from this, happy you. For someone like me, it's only my university. So if you want to go and do research now and say, oh, which school did she even graduate from? Primary school closed down, secondary school closed down. But I'm here before you today with 3 completed degrees. Bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD in the US. What does it tell you? Is that you can choose to hold on to the excuse. Oh, I'm from a poor background. Oh, I did not have good education. Oh, I did not have good foundation. You could choose to use that as your excuse to say, the world is not fair. Nobody is guiding me. Nobody is teaching me. But you see me here coming to show up as your big sister to tell you that it's possible. I'm coming to tell you that it's possible. You just need to be willing to do the work that is required to get you away from that mediocrity. Is it going to be easy? No. But if you set your eyes on what you want, then you know that you have to pull yourself by the bootstrap. You need to figure out, like, now that I gave you something to do, like now, Chisom, I've given you an assignment. I've told you, this is how you publish your paper. First thing, reach out to your advisor to say, this project that we did, I want to publish it. Get feedback. Second thing, look at peer-reviewed paper around your area. Look at peer-reviewed. Begin to look at them and see how it is structured. Abstract, introduction, materials and method, discussion, conclusion. Take the work that you've already done. Come up with that draft. Then take that draft back to your advisor. That is the only way you get the person's attention. It is seriousness that gets people attention. The reason why some people become close mentors. I have a mentor who has been my mentor since I stepped into the university, which was in 2011. This is 2025. So I've had one mentor for 14 years. Do you think it's because he likes my face that we still have a very close mentoring relationship? No. It's because when the person says, go and do this, you go and do it and you come back with seriousness. You come back with clear questions. You don't just come and say, I want to do this thing, I don't have any idea. Oh, I want to get into US grad school, I don't even know where to start from. It doesn't even show responsibility on your part. It doesn't show that you've done the bare minimum, right? So that is how you build relationship, because it is those people that are steps ahead of you, the people that have walked that journey. They will save you from pitfalls. They will tell you, oh, when I did this thing, oh, avoid this. This will help you. This will help you shorten the curve. But doing life solo, just say, oh, I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'll do it on my own. I'll do it on my own. It keeps you stuck. It just keeps you in that mediocrity of self-pity. Oh, my family don't have money. Oh, this person cannot. You can literally get admission into the United States without spending much out of pocket. If you know how to play your cards right, you won't really spend much out of your own pocket all through the process. If you're doing the whole research right, you're doing the things you need to do right, you're following the instructions. Would it take you time? Yes. Would it take you effort? Yes. But good things take time. Ask yourself, for example, if you are there in Nigeria, or you are somewhere in Ghana, or you're somewhere in Ethiopia, and you've graduated from the university, and you've not even gotten a job, right? Because I know sometimes you don't even get a job. Or you've gotten a job, you got a job, for example, in Nigeria, and they're paying you 50,000, they're paying you 70,000. Ask yourself, for example, when is my life going to change based on this trajectory? Oh, I'm earning 50,000 every month. Before the end of the month, I don't even have enough. I'm waiting for the next money. Is it not better for you to commit like 1 year of intense work, of like figuring out this whole, especially if you are interested in it. You know, it goes back to interest. It doesn't mean coming to do US grad school is the only way to success, so that you don't misunderstand me. There are so many ways. In fact, people can succeed even without going to school. Let me just put it all out there. So it's all about your interest. It should be all about your interest. So if you search yourself and you feel like you are not interested, going this whole education route is not, you don't have to do it. Because if you keep doing it half-baked, you will keep frustrating yourself, you will keep wasting your time, and you will not even achieve it. So you need to go all in. If you decide that this is what you want to do, you need to go all in, right? Now, Precious said, how do I join the mentorship program? I'm ready to put in the work, and I would really appreciate your guidance for fall 2026. Okay, that's fine. In this chat, I think I pinned ScholarUP WhatsApp group. So you can join the WhatsApp group. That way you have my number, right? And then you can send me a message. So the WhatsApp group is there. I think that's the first step is to just get in contact with me, which if you're already on LinkedIn, you can send me a message on LinkedIn too. But WhatsApp is always easier for me because I see it faster than LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn name is still my first name and my last name. I'm sure when you search me up on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find me. And then you can also just join the WhatsApp group. That way you would see me and then we can talk. I think that's the way to go. And then Blessing says, good afternoon, ma. I just got my university transcript and the 2 Fs I had are showing there. Even though I wrote them again and passed them, please, would this be a problem? Really, it's not since usually, yes, your transcript is going to show everything. Whether you failed before and then you wrote the exam again, it's going to show everything. The question is, what is the overall score for your transcript? That's the most important question. Because for most US grad schools, you need to have at least 3/4, most of them. So if it's over 5, you have to convert it to 4 to see what is your overall CGPA. So if your overall CGPA is 3/4, then you are good to go. You are good to go. It's okay. You'll be able to get in. A lot of emphasis will not be placed on what you failed, because what it proves is that you don't give up. Even though I failed this course, I didn't give up. I pushed myself and I still got out of it. So Blessing, the question for you will be, what is the overall CGPA? That's what is going to determine whether or not you are eligible. Because like I said, for most schools, you need to be 3/4. Theophilus, thank you so much for coming. It's good to have you join our webinar today. You were here last week, you're here today again. Thank you so much for the support. Okay. Precious, you said, my transcript is showing unclassified instead of a particular GPA. This is common with most degrees in medicine and health in Nigeria. What do I do about this? Okay, all right. So if your transcript is showing unclassified, but then is it showing the grades of the courses that you have, right? The like individual, I did, say I did Math 101 and it's, I got a B. I did that and I got this. Do you understand my question, Precious? So like, what are your individual grades showing in your transcript one after the other? If your individual grades are showing, what you may need to do is to calculate it by yourself and come up with a number. And then for some schools, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, some schools require WES evaluation. And what is WES evaluation? WES is an independent body that evaluates your results to say what the value is for US. There are schools in the US that really require you to do a WES evaluation because they just don't trust our own degree system. So they want that independent body. Okay, yeah, you say the individual grades are showing. So you can calculate it by yourself. It's very easy to calculate, right? It's very easy to actually estimate based on your individual scores year to year, maybe year 1 to year 5 or year 6, depending. Is important because for some schools, the requirement is that 3.0. So it's part of the things that you should be highlighting, that, my CGPA is 3.2/4 or my CGPA is 3.1/4, something like that. So it's part of the things that you need to be able to show. So you can calculate it yourself. And then you need to look at the eligibility criteria. Are they requiring me to do a WES evaluation? If they require a WES evaluation, all you need to do is to send your current transcript to WES. That one, you don't even need to calculate it yourself. In fact, it's always helpful. Whether or not they require a WES evaluation, doing a WES evaluation gives you an edge. But of course, it costs money to do. It's not free. These are things that you can, WES is WES. You can search for it and see how much it is to do it. But it helps you. Once you have evaluated your results based on WES evaluation, then it is standard. It's just a way of standardizing your results that no school is going to argue with you. If WES says, Precious, your result is evaluated at 3.5 over 4, that's what it is. It's evaluated at 3.2 over 4. That's what it is. Nobody's arguing about it. So that may be the way to go. But one other thing I'm going to encourage you to do is, as you begin to look at schools, be intentional about going to the eligibility session. Each program has that, to say, this is what is required. It's very, very important. This is what is required for this program. This is what is required. So that you are working in line, you are not just making assumptions. Because it is that assumptions that keep people stuck for the longest time. Most times, I hate to say this, but they say when you want to hide something from a black man, put it in writing. Most of us, even the young educated people, we continue to propel this. Because people don't want to calm down to look at something that is written in black and white. Like if you sit down and put in the time, you figure out, oh, this is what they are telling me to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is the next thing I'm supposed to do. So it's very, very important for you to take the time to figure out, for this program that I'm targeting, what have they required as their bare minimum? What are the things I should have in place so that I'm not doing last minute rush, right? So I hope that helps you, Precious. So connect with me like I'm committing myself, God helping me. If you guys keep showing up, you keep encouraging me, and if I'm not traveling and I'm fine, I'm doing well, I'll try my best to show up at least 1 hour, just to give you that guidance on how you should approach this process. It's all about strategy. Getting into US grad school is strategy. It's not charity, and it's not even the most intelligent people that get in. It's not the most intelligent people. It's just people who know what they are doing. People who understand how to play the game. People who understand what they should be the kind of questions they should be asking. Because you realize that sometimes people don't even know the questions they should ask. Some of the things I highlighted to you today, for example, you are looking for schools to give you waivers for your application. How do you reach out to them? What kind of professional language should you use to let them know that you are really interested in the program and you want them to consider you for a waiver? Think about it. If you get 4 or 5 waivers or 6 waivers, that's good. It gives you a long edge on how you can just start the process without spending a lot out of pocket, right? I think I saw something from Solomon. You say, I'm pretty late today. Thank you for the good work you're doing. May the good Lord honor you. Oh, thank you, Solomon. It's good that you're here. Yeah, I think these videos are always going to be here for the people who want to come back and just kind of see the questions that we went through. And knowledge is power. But knowledge is even more powerful when you apply it. So I tell you, don't just come here and ask questions and collect the knowledge and then don't do anything with it. You just come and you listen and you ask questions, and after the 1 hour event, you've not shifted. Figure out the questions that you have. What are the things that are keeping me stuck? Oh, I've been thinking about how to go about this process. I don't know where to start from. I've told you, okay, this is where you start from. This is what you need to do. And then you can have more and more questions as you dive into the process. Typically, most of the schools, they close the portal for submitting your admission by December 15th. For most schools, thereabout. So you have from now, September is starting maybe tomorrow or next tomorrow, right? You have September, you have October, you have November, you have 3 months. If you are really committed to I want to submit for this season. But then again, you can look at your CV and then you be honest with yourself and say, I don't have enough for my CV for fall of 2026. Let me connect with Dr. Amaka. Let me get her to look at my CV. Let me begin to figure out how can I build my CV for next year, so that by next year, I will be better prepared. I will be better equipped to get in. It's always better to prepare yourself than to just jump in like, oh, everybody is submitting. Let me run to the school's portal. Let me submit. You keep wasting your application money because most times you don't get the results that you are hoping for. And the reason for that is just because you were not ready. It's a global competition. You are competing with the whole world. You are not just competing with Nigerians or Africans. You are competing with people all across the globe. So you need to be thinking from the mindset of the person that is reviewing your application. Ask yourself, if it is me that is reviewing this application, will I choose myself? That's one question. My time is almost running out, right? So ask yourself that question. If I'm the one reviewing and I see all these other people with all, am I going to choose myself? So work on yourself. Be intentional. One more thing I'll add to you is, you see LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a gold mine for you. As you prepare for grad school, you need to understand how to use LinkedIn. That is why we have our monthly LinkedIn Elevation program, which some of you have been a part of. I teach you in that program how you can actually optimize your LinkedIn presence to help you to build the connections that you want to build. To tell you the truth, when it comes to US grad school, most times, it's not even just your qualifications. Who you know, most of the time, would open more doors than what you know. Who you know, who is rooting for you, who have seen your work, who has seen you showing up. I tell people, you see that thing you want to go and do in grad school, use LinkedIn to start showcasing it. Use LinkedIn, go and do volunteering, post about it. Go and take a course, post about it. Build that traction so that when somebody goes and looks at your profile, it's going to have something that they will make them like, oh, wow, this person. Oh, see what they did. Oh, see the work that they did. Don't think that things will fall on your lap. It won't. It is your job to begin to figure out, how do I get into these spaces? How do I understand how to make use of LinkedIn? LinkedIn, most of the time, all the professors you're looking for, the schools you are looking for, they have a LinkedIn profile. All of these programs, most of the time, they are there. But how do you know how to search for the right information? How do you know how to access the right information? How do you know how to position yourself for that clarity? How do you know how to do those things? How do you build the confidence that would help you to step out and begin to say, this is what I want to do, this is what I've done in the past? All of these things is not going to just happen. And it's not going to come from just listening. It's not just coming to sit down and listen. It's what do you do with the information that is given to you? That's the most important thing. What do you do with the information? Is it that you just come and you listen to the information and you listen every week? You come and listen to me. Oh, doctor, thank you, thank you, thank you. What are you doing with the information that I'm giving you? That is what is going to change your life. It's not the fact that you got that information. It's the fact that that information spurred you to action. You started asking yourself, what are some of the networking experiences I need to be a part of? What are some of the connections I need to begin to make? Who are the people I need to be connected with? How can I be a part of this LinkedIn Elevation program? How can I be a part of this volunteering for the global conference? How can I be in these spaces to do these things that would help me to stand out? It is your job to do it. Nobody is going to do it for you. It's easy to stay stuck. It's very, very easy to just stay in one place and complain and say, oh, life is not fair. Oh, life is not fair. Oh, my parents are not rich. Oh, I don't have money. Oh, I don't. It's very easy to do that. But when you finish complaining, then what? When you finish, you complain, then what? Like, what changes? Is it going to change anything? Year to year, month to month, you are complaining. It's not going to change anything. So the sooner you take away all the things that are not working and then ask yourself, what do I actually have in my hand? As a young person who is trying to get into grad school, what do I have in my hand that I can begin to make use of, to push myself, to make it easy for me to get these opportunities? All right. So endurance, you said you have HND in pharmaceutical technology. You graduated with 3.2/4. What do I advise? Start afresh with pharmacy degree due to HND. There are schools in the US that accept HND. That's the thing. There are schools that accept HND, and I think HND can be worse evaluated too. The thing is that it is not every school that accepts HND. So automatically you have your work cut out for you. If you can do a master's degree, that gives you the added advantage. Instead of starting pharmacy degree all over again, which would be maybe 5 years or depending. If you can do a master's degree instead, which would be maybe 18 months or 2 years thereabout, that would also give that HND an added boost. But even the HND itself, I've seen people get into the graduate school in the US with HND. But it's all about finding those schools and asking the right questions. Because sometimes all you need is to ask questions. And who are the best people to ask questions? It is the people who are in the admission office. And you can find this information in the website of every school. I keep telling you, those information are not hidden. There's always the contact us form that you can fill and contact and initiate that conversation and start asking questions to say, this is what I have. Am I eligible? What do I need? How do I get in? Ask the right questions. So some schools accept HND, not all of them. Doing a master's degree may be the best way to go. But I would also tell you, while you are doing all of that, explore the schools that do accept HND. Start the conversation going, start seeing how it's going, right? So I'm going to be wrapping it up. I think I've given extra 5 minutes today. Usman says, I'm very glad the way you responded to my first question, how to relate my volunteering service to my field, if they are irrelevant, like volunteering when you're applying. There is no volunteering that is irrelevant. That's the thing. It's not you are the one who is thinking that is irrelevant. If you're applying for biology, you may not get direct volunteering experience that is biology, but experiences that you get in leadership. Leadership is a universal experience which helps you. Leadership experiences that you get in organization, experiences that you get in working as in a collaborative team, in delivering a social impact project, all of it is relevant to your CV. So when you talk about leadership and volunteering, it does not mean that it must be. Yeah, of course, if you have other things that are related to your course, good. But all your volunteering experiences, all your leadership experiences cannot be directly related to your field. Because leadership, like I said, in the US, leadership is a big deal. Because when you come to graduate school, you'll be leading yourself. You would lead yourself. That's the expectation. The expectation is that you know how to work with people, you've worked with people in teams, you've collaborated, you've done projects. So something like working in the ScholarUP Global Conference is something that can stand out in any CV, regardless of the program you're going for, because it's a social impact project. You're talking about how you were a part of a conference that reached thousands of Africans, that helped people, that helped with education, that did all of those things. So it's something that helps your CV. Any volunteering experience that you are a part of, the question you need to ask yourself is, what am I getting out of this experience? Like, what skills do I get out of this experience that I can add to my CV? Is it leadership? Is it teamwork? Is it collaboration? Like, what experiences directly? What are the skills I'm building directly from this experience? Is it IT? All of these things are things that cut across every field. There is no field that is leadership field. There is no field that is teamwork. There is no field that is working together and all of those things. It is instead, it is you showing that you can do that in a different setting. You are able to prove that you can do it in any other setting. So take your volunteering opportunities, take it very seriously, no matter where it is, as long as it cuts across all of these universal skills that I've mentioned that will really, really help you to stand out in your application. I hope that helped you. So I'm going to end it here for today. Thank you all for showing up. I'm excited to have you here. I'm going to maintain the same time for next week, so I'll set up the event. I'll still post it for us in the group, and then I'm going to continue to share opportunities. Like I said, anytime I see the people who advertise open roles, I'll share it on the group. I think I shared like 2 or so last week. If I see more, I'm still going to repost it for you guys. But take the information and make use of it, please. Make use of it. That is what makes this worthwhile for me, that in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 8, I want to start hearing those testimonies. Oh, because of this, I was able to gain the admission. That is what makes it worth it for me. That is what keeps me going, is when I see my mentees succeeding. You saw the one I posted last week that just got her fully funded scholarship. I'm like, yeah, because now your life has changed totally. And that's enough for me. That's enough joy for me that, because of you, this person now has gotten this fully funded admission to the school of their choice and they are moving forward. So make sure that you take the information I'm giving you, put it into practice. As you are putting it into practice, when you come back again, you will have more questions because you are doing something with what I'm telling you. If you're not doing anything with what I'm telling you, you will not have any question. That's the thing. So take notes, keep track, understand how you work the process and the things that you need to do. And then start early to begin to work at it. Realize that most of the time, the people that succeed in this whole US grad school thing are just people who know what they are doing. They are not the people with the best qualifications. They are the people who have somebody reviewing their essays, rewriting it in a way that it sounds very professional, very personal to them, very compelling. It is the people who have those opportunities. And all these things are not rocket science. It's just about you just deciding in your heart that I have made up my mind. This is what I want to do for myself. I'm done playing small. I'm done making excuses because I've been making excuses for 5 years. Nothing has changed. I'm making excuses. I'm saying Nigeria is hard. This is happening. That is happening. Nothing has changed. So now I'm going to take things into my own hands and I'll try to do my own very best with my God-given ability. You all know that I'm cheering for you. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm doing this for you because I want you to succeed. I want you to excel. I want you to really, I want us to really increase the number of the Africans who are getting fully funded scholarship, coming to the US, coming to Canada, and it's possible. As long as you're willing to do it, you would keep making progress. So I thank you so much for coming. Yeah, Divine, you're welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, thank you for your kind words. I'm going to see you all next week, Saturday. Same location, same place, same time. If you repost the event, if you share it on your LinkedIn, it's really going to make me happy. I would appreciate it. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day and God bless you. Bye-bye.